What's going on, world? Hope all is good. First, let me because I'm riding out, let me see if somebody can chime in and let me know if y'all can hear me and I'm good before I get deep into my conversation. So, Kim, give me a thumbs up or something. Let me know. Say yes if you can actually hear me and I'm good. So those is chiming in, I need to hear yes, y'all can hear me before I go into full conversation mode. So somebody give me a thumbs up, a 100 or something. All right. Okay, bet. All right, what up though? Yeah, I'm representing y'all. I'm representing. So anyways, and I will be there soon. And I got so many things planned. So I'm gonna let y'all know 23rd, 24th, 25th if you try, well, no, 22nd, 23rd, and yeah, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. So all the days before Christmas, I'm in the D. If y'all want to train with me, I got a location. We doing leg day, chest day, back and biceps. We hitting it all. So you are more than welcome. So plan accordingly. And also, I'm making a note to myself right now to get me one of those tripods I can put in my car. But I wanted y'all to ride with me since I gotta run some errands. I am in day 2 of the H.A.R.D challenge. If you haven't heard about it, this is what I've been on every single day talking about the 45 H.A.R.D challenge. This started off as just a birthday challenge for me. I always do something leading up to my birthday. So the goal of it was I'm turning 45. We going 45 days straight. And, for me, I wanted to, the whole inspired by 75 H.A.R.D. However, that has totally changed. God loves to throw some things in there. So this has changed to be deeper than I thought it would be. So, this H.A.R.D challenge is focusing on healing, alignment, resilience, and devotion. All right. So I'm not going to go deep into it, but follow me because today I'm going to take you into what this is really deeply about. Part of this challenge is really self-assessing and is really, again, getting beyond the surface and really digging deep. And part of the questions that we have to ask ourselves is what part do we really need? Like where, and what area do we really have to work on? Again, the 5 pillars that we're obviously working through: fitness, lifestyle, nutrition. Sorry, I guess I'm gonna have to hold this. I'll be posted up, so y'all don't worry about me. I'll be fine in a minute, okay? I'll be there in 8 minutes, and I'm going to post up in Trader Joe's. But the 5 pillars: fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, mindset, and community. Those are the 5 pillars. Now, within those 5 pillars, what the H.A.R.D challenge is focusing on is taking those 5 pillars and breaking those down to how you heal through fitness, how you heal through, through your nutrition, how you heal through. So y'all follow me. So I'm gonna talk about healing today. I'm gonna be transparent. The reason why, let me start to why this is such a big thing for me. God is calling me to be more transparent with you all. Now, keep in mind, I am not a person that tells my business. I'm not interested in it. I don't need to. I don't need accolades. I don't need people to be following me in the shower and all that type of stuff. Like, social media was never really the hype for me. But I understand that God is calling for me to be more transparent just because it's important for you all to get to know me and what I'm truly about. So, this is hard for me just alone. Like, let's just take the alignment with my purpose. The only reason I'm on here every single day is because I'm being obedient to what God is calling me to be. And I know that because I want to continue to inspire and, to impact, that this is necessary. So let me get that out the way. Now, with that being said, I'm and I hope that this is okay with God. I'm like, God, I don't always want to be telling my business, but, I want to commit to, on a weekly basis, to really dig deeper, like let y'all into things that I wouldn't normally jump on here and talk about. It's easy for me to be, talking about what's going on behind the scenes and, my fitness and all that type of stuff. But to really, really make this hard for me, just go out of my comfort zone. We do hard things, and To me, if you're not doing hard things, then you're probably not changing. You're probably not requiring much of yourself to actually do the to actually accomplish the transformation. So today I'm being transparent. I said part one because I know there's some things that I'm I'm working on answering. So I wanted to take y'all through my mind as I'm doing self-assessment to what I feel like the area that is the hardest for me, and that's the healing. I've done a lot of great healing in the last 2 years. However, when the requirement of this challenge requires you to dig a little deeper, I've realized that I got a lot of work to do. I think healing it's always a lot of work to do. However, it's when you do the self-assessing, it's when you actually do the work behind closed doors within yourself with somebody that you realize that you probably ain't as healed as you think you are. And for me, I'm all in. When I tell you, like in the areas that I am healed at, like I feel, I was just talking about the other day, how much I feel the tears of pain turn to tears of joy. Like to have that type of life transformational, experience. I'm like, I want more of that. So whatever I got to do to heal, whatever I got to do, but that means that, things about you are exposed, and not necessarily to anybody else, but just to you alone. And I don't know about you, when you expose yourself to things that are not the best about you, that's not the easiest thing. It's not the easiest pill to swallow, y'all. It's not. That's the reason why, like, I have been saying, God, okay, I'm ready for the test. Like, give me a test so I can see and know that I'm healed from that. Like, how do you? I want y'all to think about this. Like, you don't know that you're ready for the next stage, the next elevation, the next level until you've had a test to see, where you're at. So when a test comes my way now, I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta pass this. It's part of my resilience. So I'm like, I'm all out. I call for a test. Let's get it. I be like, God, let's. You ain't gotta be too hard on me, but show me that I'm ready for the elevation. Show me that I'm ready for the next season. Show me, that I can truly say I'm healed from that. And unfortunately, fortunately, I've had some moments that I'm like, yes. But unfortunately, I've had some moments where I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not healed. And then there's areas that I want to kind of talk about today a little bit. Is areas I didn't even think that I was hurting. Like, I don't, when you ask yourself the question, so let me be transparent. All right. I don't speak about my lifestyle. So again, let me break this down for you. So the question was, in each area, I am focusing on what the healing part of each. So when it comes to my fitness, I'm making sure that I'm stretching every day to keep myself in recovery. I'm making sure I'm getting my sleep, etc. So I make sure of that every day. So that's a part of my daily routine and non-negotiable. Healing as far as, my nutrition. I am adding more microgreens. I would say micronutrients to my regimen, anti-inflammatory properties, like really being very intentional about what I put in my body. So, I'm taking out anything that doesn't serve me and adding things. So again, healing through nutrition. The next part of this, I just passed my, oh, I'm about to pull up. So the next part of it happens to be mindset and lifestyle. So, I think for me, there's one part I am looking for a new therapist. So I want to actually, though I'm journaling, I actually want to talk this out with somebody. Now, I've had a life coach. I have a life coach. However, I really want to dig deep in some areas that, again, I don't even know. I'm not even necessarily sure if if that's hindering me or not. So, I want to find somebody. So that's been a process, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all that. However, I'm in the looks of a different type of therapist. So that's that part, you know, to kind of deal with, you know, the mindset. But the lifestyle part, you know, honestly, I was like, what does that necessarily mean for me? Nah, this is where it kind of gets a little deep, because again, these are areas that I don't necessarily find that I'm hurting in. But as I thought about it, I said, maybe I am. Because a friend of mine asked me, like, why don't you talk about your lifestyle, my sexuality? And to be honest with you, I don't have a reason why I don't. Like, I don't, you know, I'm not a huge person to kind of put it out there. Like, I don't feel like I need to. However, you know, I realize there's some things that in my past that have probably silenced me to not be as vocal as I could be. Again, for those that don't know, you know, I'm a lesbian, you know, you know, but listen, like, it's not, you know, there's so much behind it. And I want to share this because I have church hurt. So that's one. I have church hurt because, you know, I think it's, I think it's maybe 11 years, something like that. That I found my relationship with God through somebody telling me that I was doing the wrong things by being gay. That brought me closer to God, to be honest with you. So I want to say this. I don't like not, I don't like to say I regret certain situations in my life. I don't. I feel like I learned from them. So in that time frame, I say it was still a great time for me because it was the start of me building a relationship with God. Though it was based off of what everybody else thought my relationship with God should be, it still kicked off me getting to know God. So first and foremost, like, I don't regret years of not knowing who I was because everybody was trying to create me as this poster child, because I was, I owned a gay bar. I owned one of the biggest gay bars in Detroit. Um, we threw events, you know, well known around the community. Actually had a nonprofit organization during the time of bullying, you know, and at that time, you know, I was doing my thing, and it was one person, and you know, I believed in God, and I truly knew there was a higher being. And I remember when somebody telling me that what I was doing did not please God. And of course, they pointed out every scripture in the Bible and all these things. And I'm about to get deep with y'all. Again, this is transparent. Um, so that forced me to turn straight, you know, and people had fun with dressing me up and, you know, telling me what I needed to do and how I needed to be and how my relationship and how I needed to walk, how I needed to talk. I went through years of people creating this identity for me. And to be honest with you, my goal was, let me tell you, it wasn't because of them. I did that because I wanted to please God. So there's two things that I look back at that and I say, God, the only thing I wanted to do, the reason why I changed is because I wasn't pleasing you. And I wasn't worried about what nobody else thought, but I didn't know what it looked like to please God. So I say all of this. I'm trying to kind of give y'all, like, I'm the one who went through it. So I have so many stories I can tell y'all. There's so many things that I've been through. But I just kind of want to give y'all a snapshot to why I'm talking about it today. And, you know, I started to speak about my journey, and it was actually called Transparent Tuesdays. And I used to have I was literally, they put me up. I have been all around the world talking about how I changed my life from being a stud to, you know, to being to be saved and delivered. And behind closed doors, I can tell you right now that I was dealing with a lot of this ain't it. And it, again, it forced me to truly build a relationship with God where I'm at today, that God says, I created you fearfully and wonderfully made. And nobody can tell you what that looks like because they didn't create you. So my confidence, my Godfidence that I have today has come from me having to not only create this relationship with God that is about me and him and not me and everybody else. So I say all of that because I have to ask myself, like, why don't I talk about my sexuality? And again, I don't have a specific reason, because I really don't think it's necessary. Like, I really don't think it's necessary. However, I think it's important because I know that a lot of people, not just dealing with their sexuality, but just their identity, period. Like, I am really comfortable in my own skin. Like, would I love to have a little bit of style to me? Would I love to, color my hair and do some other things? Yeah, but who I am, I don't question that. And it's unfortunate that there are people out here that do. And it's based off of many different reasons. And I don't know if God is calling me. Like, I don't know that for me, this is the digging I want to do. God, is there a reason why I'm not out here, waving the waving the rainbow flag and nothing like that? Like, I don't feel that it's a reason. But I think it's important for me to talk about it more because there are some people out here that don't, even though nowadays it's so much easier. When back in the day, y'all, it was different. For those that have, if you weren't gay, if you didn't understand, like, again, I grew up in a time where one, parents, families were not okay. Church was not okay. You couldn't go, soon as I would walk, here's where I came in. If I walked into church like this, automatically there would be older women putting their hands on me, trying to save me from the hell that I'm going to. I have literally had people bust in my house, y'all, to pray over me and take away that was anything that would be close to saying that I was gay. Like, I remember they took the shoes that made me look like a boy, I guess. Like, literally, no joke, y'all. I have literally had people bust into my house and speak in tongues over me because of anything that would be related to me being gay. So those are the experiences I've had in the past, y'all. I have lost friends. I lost family members over saying that I was gay. So trust and believe we've had that season. I've been in that people have literally, disowned me, have defriended me because of my choices. So in the beginning, and even as I chose to walk in my own identity, though I was saved and delivered and it didn't feel right, me dressing up and putting on, dresses and all of that. And let me say this, like, I'm not trying to be a boy. I never have. When people look at my pictures from when I was 12 years old to when I was in college, I tell people all the day, I have my hat to the back. I have a picture to this day. I had my hat to the back, jersey, all of that. I was getting more guys than my girls that I hung around with. That was just me. I wasn't trying to be anything. I don't want to be a guy. It would probably be easier for me, but I don't want to be. I want to be Kiwi. And I never loved labels. I never loved any of that. None of that meant anything to me. However, I can see how going from that to a generation where it's acceptable, to being in front of people while there are still people that deal with that in the background, how that could be something that can truly affect who you are today and who you are becoming. And for me, I have to ask myself that question, is this a healing journey I need to go through? And I don't necessarily know. I know there are people that I lost in my life that it hurts, that I lost them because of my choices. However, I've come to a place that I understand that if they made the choice to not love me for who I was, then to be honest with you, they probably didn't love me anyways. So, I think part of that is, again, it's not just about the healing, but God asked me to heal out loud. So part of this is actually me having this conversation with you all to actually say, do I need healing in this area? And how do I heal? And how do I even see if I need to heal? And it was actually talking to you all out loud and talking this out, opening up. Because if it's not me that needs to heal, maybe somebody else does. Believe it or not, I've had people DM me about them still going through that. This ain't, to be honest with you, this still is not an easy thing for everybody. People not only deal with the fact that they are gay or they're going through something, they're still dealing with, here it is, okay, God. People are still dealing with the fact of what a relationship with God really means. So let me share with y'all this part, and I think that maybe this is where God is taking me. Part of my healing has been, and I don't need anybody to confirm who it is that I am in my relationship with God. The one thing that I can say is nobody tells me how my relationship with God looks like, what it sounds like. Nothing at all. You don't get to tell me what hip hop I listen to. Like when it comes to gospel rap, you don't get to, like, none of that. You don't get to tell me how I dress. You don't get to tell me what it looks like as far as what my studying looks like, what my singing looks like, what my praise, what my worship, what my prayer looks like. Y'all have heard me pray. How I pray is how I pray. How I talk to God, like me and G.O.D., I call him that often. G.O.D., that's like not even like, he's my best friend because I talk to him like I tell him, I wish you were just right here in the seat with me. So part of my healing is, though I've had church hurt, I have not let the church stop me from my relationship with God. It has not stopped me from getting closer to God. It has not stopped me from what it looks like, how it looks, how I do it, how I come out to say, like, it doesn't stop. Like, in all the things, like, so I can literally say that I've healed, but I realize that there are people out there that need to hear how I healed from church hurt. Bam. Because it was the people in the church that made me feel like I was not accepted. It was the people in the church that made me feel like I needed to be somebody different. Unfortunately, it was people in the church. Now, God has made this very clear to me. The people in the church are just as hurt as I am, or just as hurt as I was. And they looking for the same exact thing that I was searching for, and that was God. And the person that I'm going to get the answer from is God and not them. Because they searching for answers themselves. So I went through a period and I didn't want to go into a church. I didn't want to, like, all of that. But now I don't go into the church for the people. I go into church for the experience. I go into the church for the word. I go into church to feel God in his presence. And if I don't feel those three things, then I just don't go. But I definitely now don't go for the people. I don't go for nobody's approval. I don't show. That's the reason why I love my online church family, to be honest with you, because I'm going for a specific thing. And I feel God if I'm at home, if I show up in person, like, and to be honest with you, there are times that I have done my virtual church and be like, yeah, not today. That's why I have 3 or 4 churches that I am a part of because I need to hear the word. I need to feel God. I need to be in worship. Like I have church by myself, and I'm good because I'm there for God. Like, I'm there for the experience and the feeling. And I know that he needs communion, all that. I find a way, and he trusts me. I get that. As y'all see, I'm a part of a women's prayer group. I'm a part of a personal development community that is led by E.T. himself, who is a pastor. He always is bringing us together. The God is always the center of what we discuss, whether it's business, whether it's personal. So I've connected myself. So I'm devoted to making sure that I'm tapped in, that I'm spiritually being guided. But man, when I tell you, I can actually say that healing in that area, like, I do not put it out there because I'm not healed from something. But I realize that I need to talk out loud once again, because there are people that are dealing with, whether it's church hurt from other things. I'm going to need you to, if you have church hurt like me, don't let that stop you from getting the experience with God that is necessary for you to become the person that he has always wanted you to be. God has always wanted me to be this. And he wants so much more from me. And maybe it is necessary. Nothing for me is by accident. This conversation is because he's called me to not just minister through fitness, but minister through whatever it is that he has for me, to say, if you have church hurt, I need you to let that go. I need you to let it go. I need you to forgive whomever hurt you through the church. And I need you to understand something. That ain't got nothing to do with God. Because unfortunately, church hurt has brought us away from God. That makes us point a finger. Well, God, if it's like that, then I don't need to be here and I don't want it. Trust me, I've been there. But God made it very clear for me. That ain't me. The people, again, church hurt is totally different than saying God hurt. I ain't never said God hurt. I've said church hurt, and it's because the people in the church is hurt. So hurt people hurt people. So I forgive y'all. I forgive all the people that left me, that point fingers at me, that spoke bad about me, because they were not happy with the decision I made to be exactly who God has called me to be. I forgive y'all. It hurt for a long time. However, I've come to a place that you can't hurt me there no more, because I'm so tapped in with God. Unless he tells me something's wrong, I don't care what nobody else says. What it looks like, what it smells like, what it all of that. Like, until he tells me something different, I don't care what none of the people in the church have to say. And if they got something to say, I'm going to take it to God. We'll have a conversation about it. We will converse about it. And then from there, I will know where to move and how to move. So, with anybody, I see a couple people chiming in. I want to offer, since I'm posted up, if anybody wanted to chop it up with me, or discuss, or have a question about that. So the reason why, and I'll say this, the reason why I said part 1 is because this was me thinking about what I needed to do on my end when it comes to my healing, when it comes to lifestyle, when it comes to mindset, when it talks about community, in those pillars. And I'll be honest, like, having this conversation makes me realize that maybe healing is, it actually, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm excited for myself, because doing the self-assessing and having these deep conversations with myself, and then having a deep conversation with you all, it puts me in a place to be like, Kiwi, you came a long way. And you good in that area. However, I say this to y'all, like, it takes to be able to have these conversations with yourself and have it with other people and not be afraid of what may come from it, you know? So, I'm excited. I'm excited to continue to grow with you all. And it's gonna take days like this. Like, it ain't always gonna be positive. It ain't always like these conversations. I can tell you right now, I have a list I'm working through in my journal. It's not always, it doesn't always expose the greatness. But today, I'll be honest with you, like, I'm actually proud of myself, because I don't have nothing to hide. It's just, I'm not, again, I'm not out here. I ain't out here flaming, like, throwing up the flags and all that, but I'm not doing it for any specific reason. And I'll be honest with you, I can't wait for the opportunity to be able to share my relationships, and how happy and how, y'all know how I'm sharing the joy. I can't wait to share my joy, of being with a partner that loves me, and sharing that with you all. So, to be honest with you, I'm excited. That's going to be an opportunity for me to be a little bit more. To be honest with you, that healing out loud, that part of it is going to come, and I look forward to it. Again, not tears of joy. I mean, not tears of pain, but tears of joy. So I look forward to sharing these joyful moments a lot more with you all as I am opening up. So, all right, that's what I got. I'm at Trader Joe's. I got some work to do. If you're watching this, you don't know why I'm having these deep conversations. Again, 45 Hard is a challenge that was created behind me, going 45 days leading up to my birthday. But then also, it was something that God just really put on me to dig a little deeper. So again, we're not just fitness, nutrition, all of that. Like, we are healing out loud. We are being aligned with our purpose. We are resilient in our reinvention and devoted to our growth. So if you're down, this is a free event. The link is in my bio. Go click it. You can get all the details, because I'm not going to continue to keep getting. If you I still don't get it. Like, the details, I've laid everything out for you. Everything. So you will have to sit down with your journal, write things out. You got to do this type of work. And this is the work that is life-changing, y'all. So all that surface stuff that you can get anywhere else, you can go anywhere else and do a challenge. But this challenge is different. And it's different for me, and I'm excited. Day number 2, I'm already this type of work, I'm excited already, because this type of work is type of work is transformational. This is the type of work that some of y'all need to do in order for y'all to get to the next stage. But however, if you're not willing to, if you still gonna continue to keep doing that surface stuff, let me lose 10 pounds and let me just make sure that I don't do no sugar this week. And, and y'all keep doing this surface stuff, you're not going to change, because you're going to end up right back where you were. You're still not going to get the stuff done. This one is deep. That's why I'm excited, because I know after 45 days, y'all about to see somebody different. Or y'all about to see, to be honest with you, I'm looking for, it's not even different. I'm looking forward to the elevation. I'm looking forward to y'all seeing the wings that God is about to put on me, because I'm doing the necessary work. I'm looking forward to y'all seeing the light and the stages that God's about to put me on. I'm looking forward to God blowing my mind for me to cry so many tears of joy that I haven't yet did the tears of joy that got me, my nose all, I want to do that. I can't wait for that. I'm actually preparing. I know God about to do that. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking for the boo-hoo cry, oh my gosh, I can't believe that God would do something like this for me. I don't even deserve it type of, I can't wait to tell y'all about that story and share that testimonial. And the biggest thing is, I know that I'm not doing this by myself, so I'm looking forward to all the testimonials from the women have already joined the challenge. I know I see Kim MacArthur, she's starting day number 1 today. Let me see, who else? So FYI, I bought some glasses. That's all I'm gonna say. I had to buy some reading glasses, okay, y'all. So all this I don't know if y'all can tell me how to make this bigger, cause on my phone it's just small. Like I gotta be like this to read. All right, so I see Nanette on here. What's up, Kim MacArthur? I want to be able to see these because they go away. That's the one. Level up. So I see D on here. What up, D? What up, Kim MacArthur? What up, Regina? What up, Joy? Let's say tiptoe expectations. So here's the thing. This is what I'm gonna need for y'all. For those that are on 45 hard, I'm gonna need y'all to hop on video with me. Let's have more conversation. All of this tech stuff. Here's the crazy part, because people can't even read it after the fact. So again, the dialogue, I could just post and stuff like that, but I'm doing videos for a reason. However, I gotta go. I have a strict schedule. Trader Joe's is on my list today. Trader Joe's, I gotta hit Whole Foods for some stuff that I need for my nutrition, to make sure that I'm checking my boxes, healing out loud, all the good things that we've been talking about. Yeah, y'all, I hope that, whether you're with me on live or you watch this recording, again, I know I touched somebody. So DM me if y'all got questions. DM me if you. Anyways, just hit the link in the bio that's up there, or up there, one of those. Hit the link on the bio. Join the challenge for free. I got other options as well, but for free, just be in the community and. Look, we do hard things. Matter of fact, I'm hosting tomorrow a coaches meeting for all of the people that have joined already. You can join whenever you want to. So everybody's day one is different, just to let you know. So whenever you see this and you like, oh, I want to end, then you just start your day one when you join. And then you just got 45 days that you got to finish what you start. All right, it's getting hot in here. Look, the windows all fogged up. Okay, I'm out. Love y'all. Peace. Have a freaking great Turn Up Tuesdays.